Well, hello there. My name is HW. Thank you so much for watching Junkie TV. I get this question a lot, or rather, it's a comment, sort of a complaint. And people will tell me, HW, I tried out that profile and it sounds different with my guitar. And there could be a number of reasons that this happens. And I don't want to get into all of those reasons. It could be a million different reasons. It could be how you're listening back to it. Are you listening to the demo on a telephone? On a little like a mobile device, but then you're, in front of a big speaker when you're listening to the actual profile that you download. You could have some global settings that are off. We can get into those, and I have talked about some of those things in other videos. But today, what I want to talk about is sometimes I get into conversations with people, and they say, I have this guitar. With these pickups, it's high quality, so it's not the guitar. And that always rings funny to me because I think, well, that doesn't mean anything. High quality and good tone don't necessarily go along together. In fact, a lot of the guitars we know and love were kind of built to be budget instruments. Not this one, and not this other one that I'm going to be playing, but it brings up this issue. In my hands, guitars are just not the same. No guitar is really the same as another guitar, especially when we're mixing up years and all sorts of things can change. Even two guitars off the line with just a couple serial numbers in the middle can be very different. I want to show you what I mean by that. This is a 1966 335. This was made 1 year before this 1967 Trini Lopez. Now, these guitars are very similar. They're very similar. They both have Bigsby's. The spring is a different size on the Bigsby. That shouldn't really matter for the tone, though. I'm trying to think what else is different other than that. They both have what at the time was referred to as Gibson humbucking pickups. So Gibson just made one humbucking pickup. There was no neck and there was no middle at the time. It's just a Gibson humbucking pickup. But they're hand wound, right? And at the time, these guitars were made, they were using, the wood would have come from similar sources. This would be, Brazilian years. So I would assume this is all Brazilian mahogany on the back here. These guitars would have been made very similar. They have a different headstock. That could all add to the tone. But I want to show you how these guitars sound different because to me, the pickups, I think, are the biggest difference. This guitar is much brighter. That guitar is much fuller. And these are 1 year away. Same pickup, same style body, same most things. Obviously some differences. But in my experience, guitars can sound very different, and I think you're going to hear that here. So I'm going to play a profile for you. It's a 64 Vibroverb Clean. Check that out. Maybe we've given this away for free. Maybe we haven't. It's in the 64 Vibroverb pack. If not, it's very similar to some other ones that you can get on the Tone Junkie site. But let's check this out. I'm going to jump from guitar to guitar so you can hear this, and I'm going to play the same thing. I'm going to do the neck, then the middle, then the bridge of these guitars, and then let's talk about how they sound. Check it out. hopefully you can hear there how different these guitars are and why I own both of them. This is Sunny. I call it Sunny because it's a sunburst color, and this I call Trini because it's the Trini Lopez model. But they really sound different. To me, this is like the more quintessential Gibson 1950s, 1960s. This is a later 60s model. They're both like, not PAF pickups. They're the later ones, the patent sticker pickups. And so this to me is a good example of how guitars can just sound different. This one's brighter for sure. This one is thicker, and it almost sounds like more gain is coming through, and that's because of the mid-range and stuff. This one is just, it is what it is. I think for me, this is the one I'm going to take if I had to choose one, because I like that pushed mid-range sound. But then again, this one right here, this to me is more beautiful in the neck. If I want to play something pretty and jazzy and clean, something funk, I'm going to go for this one because I want that brightness. But they're the same, they're the same guitar. They're really the same shape. They're awesome. I don't want to sell either one of them. This one is my favorite. But the point here is really, even if we have the same guitar from 1 year apart with the same pickups, we don't always know why they're different. We don't know if it's a capacitor inside. We don't know if it's the pots. We don't know if it's the pickup themselves. We don't know if it's the wood. And honestly, I play these guitars differently. You pick up different guitars and it almost feels like they want to tell you something different. They want different things to be played. That one needs to be restrung, and it's still brighter, right? I'm doing this test and those are fairly dead strings. These ones are a lot more alive, and that one's still brighter. So we may have even accidentally evened it out a little bit here. But that just goes to show you, when you listen to something on the internet, or maybe you hear a demo of a profile, you got to know that it's going to be kind of different. You might have to dial it in for your guitar. And there's no such thing as, it's just they're gonna sound the same. They may and they may not. And, to a degree, I would say, does this guitar sound special? It sounds like almost any other guitar that has PAF type pickups. To a degree, compared to my Strat, it sounds the same as other guitars. But when you're A-Bing two guitars, you really notice the differences. They really stand out. You know what it's like? It's like my grandmother, God rest her soul, she passed, and no one can make her gumbo. Not even Uncle Willie. Uncle Willie can't even make her gumbo. And look, my sister's tried, my aunt has tried, my mother has tried, my aunt Twyla, she's gotten the closest by far. She's gotten the closest. And there's a restaurant out here in Tennessee, in Franklin, and it had the second best gumbo I ever tasted. That's the truth. My grandmother's was the first, and it was great. Just rice, chicken, seafood, sausage, chicken and rice kind of gumbo, sausage always in there. We do some shrimp and some crab, but it's really in the roux. It's really in the roux. And that's, you cook up a good roux and you get a good roux going, and like they say, you got a stew going. Hey, listen, I don't know what we're talking about anymore. Gumbo pickups, I don't know. I've been HW. Thanks so much for watching Tone Junkie TV. HW out.